Have you wondered before what a Yoni artist studio would look like? What exactly happens in that kind of place? Well, here I am. I'm going to take you on a walkthrough of my art studio. So stick around and you can see what you would need in an art studio to paint Yonis or anything else. Here is my studio setup. I have two palettes, and this is my main palette. It's the one that I use for almost all of my paintings. I also have a color swatch that I made so I can see exactly where which color is which. Sometimes in the palette the colors don't look exactly like they do when they're on paper, so I find one of these to be essential. So in another video, if you like, I can go through the colors that I use and my favorite colors. I have another palette here. This is more of a traveling palette. It's just got some good color mixing essentials, more of a classical palette with the warm and cool, so not so many fancy colors as I have over here. Big difference. So palettes done. Next, brushes. I have lots and lots of beautiful brushes. Some of these are handmade. Some of these are cheapies, some are really expensive. My favorite brush is this Neef brush. It is a wash brush and I use it with pretty much every painting that I do. I also have these cheapies, real cheap actually. There was a pack of 10 and they came from overseas, made in China type deal. And I use these all the time as well. My brushes and everything else I need. So I have here a mechanical eraser. These are great. You put the eraser in the end and press the button. So it'll take out really fine bits of graphite out of your paper. I've got my favorite white pens. These are an angelic white from Uniball Signo. And I have my Pigma Micron 01. That's my favorite size. I have a lot of these. For drawing, I tend to go for just a pacer. This is a cheapie, a Bic Velocity 0.7, and that's as far as I'll go with all of that at that point. But if you'd like to have a demonstration of how I use these, let me know. Put it in the comments and I'll actually do a video on that too. As for my setup, when I'm drawing and painting here, I use something to prop up my board. I use a crystal. And then prop it up like so. Or if I don't want it propped up as much, I use a pack of Post-it notes to put underneath there. It's just a really cheap and easy way of propping up a board. I find I do have a table easel. I have a few, but I actually find this to be a really easy way to be able to save space on my table. The only couple of things that we haven't covered, which are essentials, are kitchen paper or paper towel. I use this to pick up pigment on the artwork, like so. I have two really big water vessels, which are absolutely essential. Love a lot of water. I don't want to have to be changing my water bowl all the time. Lastly, painter's tape. I use painter's tape down the edges of my paper so the painting is fixed to the board. My ring light I use for filming, but also I use it for everything. The ring light is the best light I have in my studio. I have my iMac. This has a lovely big screen. And it is so helpful for when I'm using reference pictures. You see that I can zoom right in and see all the details. And this is so important with the kind of art that I do. So that's all you really need, is a pretty simple setup. You can see it doesn't take up too much space, depending on the size of painting that you might be working on. But for a regular kind of size painting, this is quite a simple layout that is really easy for you to achieve in your home. If you had a little corner of your house or in an office, or even if you're just setting it up on your table in the kitchen. The computer, you know, I have a really big one, but that's only because of the kind of work that I do. I didn't always have this kind of setup, and I started with a little laptop. I also have an iPad that I use when I'm traveling. If I'm going to be doing drawing or painting and using a reference photo, I can just put it on my iPad, and that's really great. It's all you actually need to start is a tablet and go from there. So let me know, is your studio set up something like this? Is this a kind of setup that you would like to have? If you want to know more on my brushes or my paints or my paper or anything in particular, just let me know. I'm planning to do some walkthroughs of my sketchbooks and some of my favorite art books as well. So if you want to see that, let me know. Like, subscribe, show me that you're out there, and yeah, have a beautiful creative day, and I'll speak to you soon. See you in the next video. Bye.